Welcome to Programming Basics. We are going to have a look at the difference between variables, literals and constants. I'm sure you've used at least literal and variables in your programs so far. So this is what we call a literal. Over here you can see we've got some string literals, they're just values. It literally is itself. It's just a value. You've got integer literals. And you've got float literals and the two Boolean literals, true and false. Now, we've also got our variables. So variables, what you can see here are the identifiers, but the computer can associate that with a value. So when you say tax rate is set to 20, then actually you're having the identifier tax rate and you're associating it with the value 20. So identifiers refer to those values, and those values can be changed. This is what a variable is. Then, lastly, we have constants. Now, you can't actually use constants in Python, which is a bit of a bind, but they do exist in many other programming languages. In Python, the convention is if you want to use something as a constant, you would put the name in uppercase. So you'd use an uppercase variable. But essentially, a constant is used to refer to a value in exactly the same way as a variable is, but that value cannot be changed after it's first set in the program. Now, there's some very obvious constants, things that just don't change, things like pi, speed of light, miles and kilometers, and so on. So what we can do is we can set up these constants in our program, and that means that you can't accidentally overwrite them. As I said, it's not there, it's not a feature of Python, but many languages do have constants. You could be asked in your exam what any of these things are, and on the top line, the explanation, that would be an acceptable explanation for full marks. So if we have a look below, what is a variable? A variable is an identifier that is linked to a value. That's absolutely fine, and a variable's value can be changed. If you were asked what is a constant, you would say a constant is an identifier or a name that is linked to a value. A constant's value cannot be changed. You might also get a question where you're asked to write out the variables in a program, or two of the variables, or that kind of thing. So first of all, some telltale signs for a variable. Assignments here. If you are assigning a value on the right, it must be a variable on the left. So if you see an assignment, that is a sure sign that it is a variable. Secondly, you can see them being used in expressions here, and variables can also sometimes be declared in a loop, such as in a for loop. But generally speaking, the assignment will give you a good clue as to what you are looking at. So, when you have an assignment, you have a variable on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, you have an expression. Here you have a literal, as in a literal value that gets assigned into the variable, the same on this line. Here you have an expression, which is made up of two variables, a literal and the plus operator. And this here inside the print is an expression as well. So hopefully that's kind of cleared up what a variable is and what a constant is, what the difference is, and what a literal is. Please, if you need any clarification, please do ask, and I will see you for some more basics videos next time.